Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. We're going to do a love reading today, taking a look at what is going on with the person you are dealing with. Remember, though, it is a general reading, so it won't be for everyone, unfortunately. Take what resonates and leave the rest. However, if you are interested in personal readings, I have a half-price sale on at the moment. The link for that is in the description box below. Also, as well, apologies if my voice sounds weird or I have to cough during the reading. I'm still trying to get over a chest infection, which is exactly what you want when it's been your birthday a couple of days ago. Anyway, Virgo, the overall energy of the reading is the 10 of Cups, but in reverse, and then the energy it's attached to is the 4 of Cups. There is a feeling here of why is someone resisting their happiness or scared of happiness? There's a situation here that is definitely not coming together. Someone could have potentially thrown this away, but why do I feel like this could work out, but someone's like sabotaging it? Let's see, because I think there may just be a delay before this 10 of Cups is kind of like upright instead of reversed. But I feel like someone is resisting what is going to make them happy and is potentially throwing away a good thing. There could be, for some of you, a connection here where you're waiting on the other person to leave it. This would be a relationship or something that is just going through the motions, where you know they're not happy in it and they're unfulfilled, but they could be staying put in that situation. And I think you feel like they're giving up on a good thing with yourself. Some of you could be dealing with someone where you're not willing to progress things forward with them until they leave a person. Let's see what shows up in the blocks and challenges. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. So that next step is being resisted. There's definitely someone here who has a connection that has kind of run its course, but they're not leaving it. Things can't progress forward between you, or every time it's supposed to go to that next step, it doesn't. We've got the 9 of Swords here, so there's a lot of stress and mental anguish that is kind of coming through with that. You want a commitment or something from this person, but that 4 of Cups and 10 of Cups in reverse, they're not making it. They're not taking that next step. Let's see what shows up in their intentions, because I feel like, Virgo, you're in that 9 of Swords energy. Some of that could be kind of Libran overthinking. There is that a feeling here of like they're sabotaging themselves. Let's see what their intentions are. We've got the Fool, but in reverse. Why are they not taking that next step? And we've got the 5 of Wands, conflicted. They're resisting the change that is going to make this happen. There is a little bit, and that 5 of Wands again feels like they're sabotaging themselves, throwing away a potential path forward with yourself. That would be a good thing. I think they're going to try and get your attention, though. Let's see what shows up in their actions. We've got the 7 of Swords. So as they pushed you away, or have you pushed them away, and the 7 of Wands. There's definite distance between the two of you at the moment. It's like they know and they've put that wall up, that guard, but they know they need to take this action. Otherwise, they're not going to be happy. And it's either based around taking that next step with yourself or them leaving another situation, relationship behind for good, which particularly if, because it's not even like they want to fight for that connection, but they're resisting a fresh start or a path forward with yourselves, staying in a potentially for some of them stagnant situation. That, because it's one thing if we're obviously all relationships go through challenges, ups and downs, if because they're not in love with whoever that person is. Obviously when we're in love with someone, we're facing a challenge in the connection, we want to work through it, we want to fight for it. They're not fighting for that connection because there's no love lost, there is no love there any longer, but they're choosing to stay in that situation, or they're resisting taking that next step with yourself, Virgo, even though it's what they want. Two of you could be in separation, which is why they're kind of, because some of this Five of Wands energy does feel like them beating themselves up a bit. And the Seven of Wands here, they know what they need to do, but it's difficult for them to do. That's at least how they're perceiving it. Let's see where that energy then goes. Okay, the Two of Wands and the Five of Cups. So after some time or delay here, for those of you where they're in, and it would be specifically a relationship where you know there's no love there, like a marriage of convenience. There's kind of nothing there. No one wants to fight for it, but they're not making that bigger life change. There is a decision coming up for some of you where they do make that, the kind of emboldened action of actually choosing their happiness with you and leaving a stagnant situation behind. For those of you where this person isn't dealing or isn't in another relationship, but they refuse to make a kind of commitment or take the next step with yourself, so that Fool in reverse, what has been holding them back, this Three of Cups, they're releasing and making a decision to embrace that Two of Cups with yourself. The one thing I would say there for the cross-watcher, though, is don't take your sweet time before getting to that point of the Two of Wands and the Five of Cups, where you're no longer one foot in the past, you're fully embracing the connection with Virgo. Because if you're not offering something to Virgo, two of you are in separation, who's to say someone else isn't going to come along and sweep Virgo off their feet? Sometimes then you can create a secondary issue just through the delay, the wait before taking action. And it's a bit of a stinger if you delay taking action, you know what you want, but you're refusing to just embrace it and go for it. And then by the time you get to that point where you get that strength of conviction, it's no longer available. That path with Virgo is no longer available. So at the moment, this person is resisting their happiness, refusing to make that change, whether it is leaving someone or offering something, taking that next step with yourself. And I would say, Virgo, you're not waiting for them. And I think you're open to other potential possibilities now. And if this person drags their feet too long, there's not going to be a potential path forward with yourself. But it does seem they're going to make that decision at some point. But at the moment, they're self-sabotaging themselves and they're putting their potential happiness at risk because of that lack of decisive action to take the next step and to embrace that new start, the journey of the Fool. And it's kind of an inevitability. unless they leave it too late. Anyway, Virgo, that is your reading. If it resonated for you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, though, it is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. However, if you would like some specific information and answers to your own individual situations, you can check out the sale on personal readings in the description box below. Cheers.